How are you all today? It's been a minute since I've done a video. There's been a lot that's been going on, and we were all in the hopes that the protests and things like that would have led to some change. It hasn't. We'll touch on a few things. The one that still blows my mind is a black man's walking away from police and gets shot 7 times in the back, where a white kid's walking towards the police with a goddamn machine gun and gets arrested, actually doesn't even get arrested then, is allowed to keep on walking. If that isn't racism, folks, hey, straight up, I don't know what is. But there's one thing I want to talk about right now, and it's a document that was put out from the CEO of One Entertainment. And his name is Brent A. Johnson. This thing is genius. He's talking about police reform, and he's actually done a layout and mapped out how it can happen. And personally, I think it's brilliant, and I'm amazed more people haven't jumped on it. LeBron James and all the celebrities, you need to get on this. He's got a few amendments. I'm going to, make it pretty concise here. I'm not going to go through everything in detail. But the first one is zero tolerance for racial bias and violence against minorities. And basically what this says is it's a 5-5-5 rule. If a police officer has 5 instances of confirmed racial bias in a 5-year period, he's banned from being in law enforcement anywhere in the country. I think that's brilliant. But it steps it out that, after the first incident, he goes to training. The second instance, he goes to sensitivity training, so on and so forth. But after 5 incidents of confirmed racial bias, he's out. He's no longer employed. But on the flip side, if he goes 5 years without any racial incidents, then it's removed from his record. I think that's fair. I think if I think 5's a lot, but if there's 5 times it's been proven and confirmed that you are racially biased, then you're a racist piece of shit. You can't be a cop. Simple as that. But if you actually go get the sensitivity training and it works, and you see the errors of your ways and you smarten up, then okay, you get another chance. The second is racial representation in the police department. And what he says is in cities, city areas with high concentration of African American citizens, there must be at least one African American police officer in every patrol car in partner situations, and no white officers can ride along in policing an African American community. That's pretty common sense. If 70% of the population of a city or neighborhood is African American, then 70% of the officers serving that community must be African American. Again, this is not radical. This is not leftist. This is pretty common sense stuff. The same policies as he goes to the right, the same policies should apply to Hispanic communities, except further, 70% of the officers should speak Spanish in those communities, even if they're not Hispanic. Come on, I read this today, and that's why I felt the need to do a video, because the common sense that this guy has put on paper, the framework that this guy has put on paper, nobody can argue this. Nobody can argue this. It's incredibly fair. It's incredibly well thought out. Another amendment is right to record, and obviously that's pretty straightforward. Everybody has the right to record officers. It needs to be very clear. The second one is Amendment 5 is no consequence for refusing to allow unwarranted search and seizure. That's, again, police need to let them know that we do not have the right to search your vehicle. We can't just search it. If we pull you over, we don't have the right. Police need to inform people about that. People need to be aware of their rights, which leads to another point that he makes, which is first call, phone call, where everybody at every stop gets the right to one phone call. Doesn't matter if it's a traffic stop, doesn't matter if it's a drug stop, doesn't matter if it's you're suspected of whatever. You get the right to make one phone call immediately. You can call a lawyer, you can call whoever you want, but to get advice on what to do moving forward. This is, again, it's from the CEO of One Entertainment, and I think there needs to be a lawmaker. I think this needs to be across North America, not just in the States. Brent A. Johnson, huge shout out to you. This is brilliant. It's well put together. It's well thought out, and I think it makes a hell of a lot of sense. If anything, I think 5 is a little, I'd say 3 instances would be good, but it's a great framework, and I would recommend that everybody looks this up. To the celebrities out there, especially LeBron James, who you have a big voice on this stage, push for this. Lawmakers in the states and elections coming up, you want to look like a hero? Try to get this. Try to get this in the law. Try to get this at least heard, moved forward. because this could be life changing. You know, this should only concern racist piece of shit cops or cops that are terrible at doing their job. They should hate this. Cops that are bigoted, biased, racist and piece of garbage should be worried about this. The cops that are actually doing their job and give a shit, they should be pushing for this. All the good cops out there push for this, because if you're a cop that knows you're not going to have any confirmed cases of racial bias, you know that's not who you are. Push for this. Because I have police officers, friends that keep on saying, I'm not like that, I'm not like this. You know, there are cops like that, I'm not one of them. Prove it. Prove it. Back this. Go to your union, all of you. Go to your unions and say you want this. Because if you're a good cop, you want to look like a good cop, and you want to back this. And if a cop doesn't want to back this, fuck him. Maybe he shouldn't be a cop, because obviously he has some pretty bad tendencies. Now let's go on to that little piece of shit 17-year-old white kid with a gun that shot some people. You left home sorry, it wasn't a machine gun, semi-automatic. Don't know if it was an AR-15, not entirely sure. You left home with a rifle attached to you, holding it like this. You went there with the sole purpose of causing trouble, plain and simple, because no one shows up anywhere with a goddamn assault rifle for peace. And don't give me that NRA bullshit. Don't give me guns create peace, guns, bullshit. This guy showed up with the sole purpose of causing shit, plain and simple. He got called on his shit, and people went after him for it, and he shot them. And unlike a black guy who, in front of his goddamn children, was shot 7 times, and then I heard this morning coming in, well, he had a knife in his car. Who? Fuck, give me a break. Yeah, that shot 7 times. You guys have billy clubs, you have a bunch of cops, you have tasers. Kick him in the nuts. Whatever. But you don't shoot him 7 times. But as I said, so a black guy walking away from police gets shot 7 times in the back. But a little white piece of shit with an automatic rifle walks towards the police, and they fucking almost shook his hand. He sort of raised his hands and then put them down and then raised his hands. Straight up, if a black guy was walking towards the cop with a pellet gun in his waist, they'd shoot him. This guy is walking towards the cops with a goddamn assault rifle, kind of a hands up, hands down, hands up, and he just walks right past him. Yeah, he's been charged now, great, whatever, he's been charged. He should have been shot. I'm sorry, if there's equity in this, yeah, but it's just that, if that doesn't show the racism in the police force, I don't know what does. A black guy walking away, trying to get into his car, shot 7 times in the back. A white guy walking towards the police with an assault rifle. Hey, keep on walking there, young man. Have a good day. That is the epitome of racism. And, that's why this document, this framework for the reform to the police services, I think it's again, Brent A. Johnson, huge shout out. It's brilliant. It's well thought out. And if I would be concerned about anybody that isn't interested in pursuing this. I would be worried about anybody that doesn't want to put this into place. The police should back this, because it's not saying defund, it's not saying get rid of, it's not saying eliminate the police department. It's basically a framework for how the police should interact with every member of the community. And just, again, I would be very leery of anybody that's not interested in making this a reality and making this law. We could go on, Breonna Taylor, and Trump. Every video I say shit's got to change. It's not. There's been protests. Nothing's changing. I don't want to be a proponent for burn the goddamn place down, but fuck me. It's I don't know how anybody could say that, they'd be wrong in doing so. And all these Proud Boys, the Trump supporters, the ones that are going out protesting against the Black Lives Matter people and all that, you're just a bunch of pieces of shit. You really are. Stay at home. All people are fighting for here, and all black people are fighting for here, is equality. That's it. That's all they want. They want to be not be concerned about going out in public and getting shot, not being concerned about getting pulled over for speeding and getting shot, not being concerned about calling the police about somebody else and getting shot, about taking their kids to school and getting shot, about their kids coming home from school. Nobody wants to worry about that. Nobody, white, Hispanic, black, Asian, nobody wants to think and nobody wants to worry that if I leave my house today, there's a possibility of getting shot. I don't. I have that luxury because I'm a white guy. I have the luxury of going, when I leave my house, there's a pretty good chance I'm not getting shot. Black people don't have that same luxury. And I think for Black Lives Matter and all the protests, for them to come out saying, we just want that. We want to be treated like equals. We want to be able to leave our house without the threat of being shot, without the threat of being harassed by police, without the threat of being looked at differently, without the threat. There was another story about this one guy was in the bank at the bank machine. He was trying to get some money off his credit card, and he had a few credit cards, which many people do. And he got them mixed up. He forgot the PIN on the card he was trying to use, so it was declined. Well, there was a cop behind him in line. The cop basically accused him of stealing credit cards. It was, just gave him a hell of a bad time. If that was me, the cop would have said, hey, forgot your PIN? Have a nice day, move on. So all you Proud Boy, cracker, redneck, Republican pieces of shit that are going out giving Black Lives Matter a hard time, fuck you. Like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. They just want to be treated with respect and dignity. That's it. And another, for all those jackasses and the Karens out there that are going and washing away the Black Lives Matter signs that are done in chalk on streets and things like that, God damn it, you have nothing better to do. Your life is so shallow, life is so meaningless and hollow and empty that you don't even want people to be able to display how upset they are and display what they have pride in. God damn it. People smarten up, or I think that, smarten up or shit's going to start getting burnt down. It already has, but even more. But this police reform, outstanding. I think people should look at it. Alrighty, everybody out there, stay safe. Again, hopefully you like what you see. I'm going to try to be a little more regular on my videos. And, I hope I don't have to do any more videos about black people getting killed or just treated like shit or refuse service. Don't even get me again on that little boy that was wearing apparently basketball shorts, so he was refused service in the restaurant when the little white kid was wearing the exact same goddamn shorts and they were fine. It's stuff like that. And for white people, that's what you don't realize. Again, I did a video on white privilege. That's what you don't realize is, fuck me. Wake up, smarten up, and realize black people are not treated fairly at all in this country and in the U.S. And also, again, for people that say, oh, racism is way worse in the U.S., it's pretty fucking bad here. Something, let's start being better. Simple as that. Let's just start being better. Why don't we try supporting equality instead of fighting it? Why don't we try supporting everybody having the same rights and freedoms instead of fighting it? Is that really the world we want to live in, where you want to fight somebody having rights and freedoms? You want to fight somebody being able to go to the store and not worry about getting shot? You want to fight that? You want to disagree with it? That's pretty sad. Alrighty, everybody, take care.